Hi everybody. In this video, I will talk about Google login with Firebase in React Native. So first of all, you see that from your computer, you enable Google Sign method is Google Sign, and I update the info.plist for iOS and update apt delegate open URL function and update router for Android in Xcode and update some class in main application.java. So when I log in Google from your device, I send a Google login command to the Firebase, and I receive from Firebase we have ID token, we have asset token, and convert ID asset token to credential. I can log into Firebase, and the Firebase will return to the app about the information of your user. So firstly, you have to enable Google sign method in sign method authentication of Firebase, and then it is quite simple. Then with Facebook, so now I use this library React Native Google Sign for signing in Google. So let's try to use this. I copy this name, copy this library name, and open terminal to install this by using the command Reactnative install. And this command will install and link the package to iOS and Android. So for a few seconds, we see that the link has been added successfully to iOS and Android directories. Then clear. So see the output file. So you see that the package is installed and display in package.json. So then I can list all the file in React Native Google Sign. It is a library that has just been installed. So we have iOS photo, we have Android photos. So I use it. So open this and I see that it is an Xcode project, an Xcode project with the library Google Sign, and you can drag and drop to your existing project. Yes, you drag and drop to the library, and then you also add the Google Sign here by drag and drop. So let's use a copy if needed. It means that if it cannot see the library, it can copy the entire content of the library. So open the Google SDK. We see several frameworks. So assure that we have all framework has been linked binary to here. So you manage a scheme. Search for manage scheme here and press to manage scheme. Move to React. So the React library inside the React. Yes, you click to this and use it as a SaaS library. So any module inside the object can use this library. So click to share React project and OK, and review your Xcode project. Okay, successful. And now the next step is open the info.plist and save some of important information. The first is reverse client ID, and you have a copy. You have to copy this client ID and use it in this info.plist. So open to show the code and paste the URL schema and paste to this. So we have the reverse client ID here. Is CF bundle or building role for editor, and then click to this. You can see it as a type of user interface. So we have a URL scheme. Yes, so you see that it is a reverse client ID. and open it back to XML. You can add more plist, you can add more key and value to XML. So we also have this it is a bundle ID, the bundle ID and the ID of your library will be matched, and then you can open to property list as plist to see the entire content. So we have the bundle ID and the URL identifier of the reverse client ID. So you have to add the client side button here. We have another button below the login Facebook. We have login to Google. So where is this function? So I can now define this function on login Google. I define this function, and firstly you have to import the library Google Sign class from Reactnative Google Sign library that have just installed and linked to iOS and Android. So the first promise here, is in the first means that after signing in successfully, it has data, and then signing in Firebase successfully come to this block, and if the sign process is failed, it come to catch. So firstly we have ID token and ID and asset token, and from these two string I can get the credential. Credential is like a key that can be accessed through the Firebase. So using the credential I can authenticate and sign in with credential to the Google, sign in Google in Firebase, and then after sign successfully it will return back a user object from the Firebase, and I can display the user object to the terminal to see the detail of the user that has been added. And you have to configure by adding the iOS client ID, and only for iOS. So then you can copy this string from the reverse client ID. Copy this from reverse iOS for iOS, and you copy this and paste to here to ensure the iOS client ID for configuration with your Google Sign. So in app delegate you have to import the Reactnative Google Sign library, and you define a bool value for the handles the open URL function. So you call the URL function the same as with Facebook. You can copy the application object here, you copy the URL, you copy the source application, and you copy the annotation, etc. So paste to here. So we have a handle Facebook and a handle Google, and now I want to use the same. We want to use both. I want to use Google and Facebook, and both of them. So I use the R handle Facebook or handle Google, and I return this value. And open is the origin device. Click to sec, yes, and reload your, yes. After reloading, you see that I come to Google sign, and you enter your Google email here. You enter your password and press next. So okay, we have the Google login successful with the user has been returned from the Firebase system, and you can use this as for your application save in your local and data, and you can also open the link for the profile image. So what about Android, or what can I do with Android? So what about Android? You can open the Android Studio Firstly, and inside the Android Studio, you press to setting up view router for project. So inside the project we have the repository. You should add link for the new repository. Here I add the repository for React Native Google Sign-in, and for checking this you can list all the file inside this to check that the folder has been installed and existed. So you add the exclude Google ZMS here. So you can add this code line in the GitHub documentation for this Google Sign-in library. You can add the Google Sign in compile. So the library compile version here must be larger than 9.0, and you copy the file that you have just downloaded, the Google service.json to the folder Android app. So you copy this file to this using terminal or copy paste in Finder. So yeah, you can list the file here to ensure that the Google site, the Google service.json has been copied. So you modify here, you add more element to this array to ensure that we have more service or more package of Google Sign-in. You add to this, and you change the distribution URL in here to the version 2.14. Okay, and inside the router here you can synchronize again to see the output. After synchronizing, yes, you can come here to ensure that you delete the old account. So it is not necessary you delete the account before testing, and refresh the user list. Open your Android virtual device and start a new device. And then here you can run Android. So wait a few seconds to building. Yes, so we have this user interface. Click to log in Google, and insert your username, your password, email, and next, and accept your agreement, and next. Yes, okay. So after that you can refresh here to see. So it is the output that you have the new Google Sign has just added to the user list. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this lesson today. Please subscribe to my channel for more exciting videos. Bye bye.